So the question is the newest release from Green River Distilling Company the next best value in bourbon? Only one way to find out. Let's do this. Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me today here on the My Bourbon Journey Whiskey Review channel. So the question was, is the newest release from Green River Distilling Company the next best value in bourbon? Again, we're gonna dive into that here real quick. Let's go over a few of the specs on that one right now. So this guy's coming in at 90 proof. Mash bill on this is 70% corn, 21% wheat, 9% malted barley. It is non-age stated and coming in at a very friendly price of only $35. So it's going to be very interesting to see, coming off of the hype around the original release from Green River, where this newest release from Green River kind of stacks up. Is this going to be the next best budget bourbon on the market today? We're going to talk about that right now. So as you can see, color-wise, kind of a light copper, maybe more of a honey type of color on that. So move the whiskey around the glass a little bit. Pretty decent oils for a 90 proof bourbon right there. So, all right, let's go ahead and dive into the nose. So immediately you get this nice light kind of honey note. Nice caramel notes, not overly dominant by any means. Really nice kind of slight kind of confectionery type of sugar note on that. Really nice kind of sweet or medium oak there as well. Definitely more of that like kind of vanilla cream, soft. With it being a wheated bourbon, you're getting that kind of maybe almost like a toasted oat type of note on it. So I know the wheat part of it, but again, you know, tasting wheat is different than, I'll say, you know, smelling wheat. So you get that kind of in terms of a comparison, maybe like a toasted oat, something along those lines. Yeah, definitely nice kind of vanilla creams on that. I'll even say a slight roasted coffee note that's there. There's something about it that's giving off this slight roasted coffee kind of note. One thing I will say is you do pick up on a little bit of the youth that's there, you know, slight kind of grain forward that you kind of will typically get on something. Even some light fruit notes. I'll say this is more along the lines of like a green fruit, maybe like a grape, like a green grape, green apple, something like that. There's a little bit of a tartness that's there on this as well. All right, more importantly, let's see how this bad boy is going to taste. And again, we're going to find out if this is going to be maybe the next best budget-friendly bourbon in the game today. So cheers, guys. First, I have to say a big thank you to Magic Spoon for sponsoring today's video. Well, Magic Spoon, you've brought me right back to my childhood. Saturday morning cartoons, big bowl of your favorite cereal, and the rest is history. Now that I've gotten a little bit older, maybe less cartoons, but in an effort to take a little bit better care of myself, add more protein to my life, Magic Spoon has become my choice for that. Now, I think it'll do the same exact thing for you. So if you're someone who is looking to introduce a little bit more protein to your life, enjoy a fantastic cereal, voila, you've got the perfect solution right here in front of you. So coming in with 4 incredible flavors: fruity, frosted, cocoa, peanut butter, which is my ultimate favorite, as you can see right now. All of these have 0 grams of sugars, 13 to 14 grams of protein, only 4 to 5 net carbs, only 140 calories. Yes, you heard it right, only 140 calories in comparison to those old sugary cereals that we all used to eat as a kid. And it's also keto-friendly, soy-free, and gluten-free. Click the link below and make sure you grab a variety pack of Magic Spoon cereal and try it today. Be sure you use my code MBJ23 at checkout and enjoy $5 off your order. Or go to magicspoon.com/MBJ23. If you don't like it, they'll refund your money 100%, no questions asked. Make sure you click the link below or scan the QR code that you see on your screen right now and use code MBJ23 to enjoy $5 off your order. Or go to magicspoon.com/MBJ23 and again, enjoy $5 off your order. So I have to say a big thank you to Magic Spoon for sponsoring today's video. Wow. So what I will say is, Immediately, my first thought is the mouth feel, the texture. It's fairly velvety, creamy for a 90 proof bourbon. So that's already a good thing. You know, texture, richness, all of those play a huge factor in the quality and just the overall experience of that whiskey. I'll say like a nice little spice, kind of a light-ish kind of baking spice. Again, a little bit more of that honey note that I was getting on the nose that's there. It does let you know that it is a wheated bourbon. There's a softness to it that kind of delicate wheat, you know, kind of implements on a bourbon at times. So you are getting a little bit of that, again, I'll say a toasted oat, maybe honey, floral notes, things along those lines. There's a softness to it, all while still remaining fairly creamy, you know, not a lot of heat, you know, slight baking spice on that. Again, that little bit of a roasted coffee bean note is kind of carrying over. Although I will say it's fairly light or muted on the palate versus the nose part of it. Yeah, I will say the more I sip on this, the second, third sip, it is again letting you know more of that wheat is there on this. Again, it's all kind of coming to a forefront from the standpoint of that softness. But again, I still love the fact that there is that creaminess that remains. Again, light spice on this, I'll say. You know, as it kind of moves towards the finish part of it, it's not long by any means. It's probably on the shorter side of medium for the most part. But again, for a daily sipper, it's got its place in the whiskey market. I think for what this is, and again, coming in at right around that $35 price point, this is a whiskey that falls into that category of you don't have to think about it that much. It's something you can pour and enjoy. You know exactly what it's going to give you, and it serves its purpose. You know, so whether you're sipping on this, using it for cocktails, I think really this bourbon for that, or both of those, is absolutely perfect. Again, I'm going to say in today's day and age, value-wise, $35 for a 750 of a wheated bourbon, I think is still a pretty tremendous value. So if this is something you can find in your market, I would have no problem buying this whatsoever. And again, I would give the old buy recommendation because of that. I think what it has to offer, there's a little bit more going on than some of the wheated bourbons, I'll say, kind of within that same category. So what it is that Green River has done with this, I think has done a really, really nice job. So like I got on the nose a little bit before, there's a little bit of that confectionery sugar that kind of carries over from the nose, the sweetness, you know, from that grain. Again, you know, some of those light caramels. Again, that little bit of a roasted coffee bean is still there. Light cinnamon maybe on that. Nice vanillas, some kind of, you know, lightish kind of caramel notes. So, you know, very traditional of what you would expect from a 90 proof, you know, wheated bourbon. I think it has everything going for it in terms of what it has to offer to the consumer in today's day and age. So I think, again, for a 90 proof, you know, wheated bourbon, it's really hard to kind of pass on this. I think it's really, really a pretty nice little bourbon. Maybe some of those like lighter fruit notes, again, more along the lines of a, you know, green grape, green apple, you know, maybe pear, something along those lines. There's a little bit of a brightness that's there to it. A little bit of maybe a tartness. Now, what I will say is, in terms of the slight youthful note that I was getting on the nose, I'm not really picking that up on the palate. So it is giving me the impression of a little bit of age getting beyond maybe that 4-year type of mark where the barrel has had a chance to kind of implement, you know, what it does on the distillate itself. So there's no harshness, there's none of that. So what I was getting on the nose has not really translated over to the palate, you know, from a youthful standpoint. So there you have it. I think this, again, is a great everyday sipping type of bourbon. Again, if you want to use it for cocktails, may do really well, like in an old fashioned, something along those lines. But again, you have to temper your expectations with it being big and bold. It's not that. Again, we're dealing with a 90 proof wheated bourbon. so you're going to have some of that softness, those softer, more delicate kind of profiles on this, and it's exactly what it's kind of given us today. So there you have it, the newest release from Green River, their wheated bourbon. So again, if you can find this in your market, I'll say give this a try. I think, again, it's a really nice little daily sipping cocktail bourbon, whatever it is you want to do with it, it serves its purpose. So I think Green River did a really nice job with another one of those releases. And I like the fact that they're introducing something, again, different than their rye-based bourbon. Now we're shifting over to their wheated-based bourbon. So I like the idea that it's that. And again, at or around $35, just like their regular bourbon is, these are kind of slam dunkers in terms of whether or not you want to pick them up or not. So again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. If you'd like to follow me, you can on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of those places at My Bourbon Journey. If you'd like to help support the channel and or become part of the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club, make sure you check out the link or links in the description below. A lot of good stuff down there for you as well. So thank you guys again for tuning in today. And remember, it's about the journey and not the destination. Cheers.